Hello, welcome back to the Pulse for Good channel. Today we're talking about the very sad situation of youth homelessness in America. In particular, we're going to go through 11 different facts about being homeless as a youth in America today. Number one, according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development's point in time count, almost 34% of those individuals that are homeless are what qualify as youth, meaning they fall under 21 years of age. Meaning they fall under 21 years of age. This is an entirely shocking statistic that helps you realize how many individuals there are out there that are so young and need our help. Fact number two, out of all those individuals that are homeless, a surprising amount of them reside in family units where the entire family is homeless. Recently, I was at a meeting with a group of homeless service providers, and they were talking about the amount of homeless individuals that were attending an elementary school. The numbers shocked me. I was in elementary school with probably a few hundred people, and there was a significant portion of those students that were homeless, that were living out of cars or other things as an entire family unit. This is shockingly common in the United States. Number three, sadly, statistics show that about 80% of those who are homeless between the ages of 12 and 21, those are homeless between the ages of 12 and 21, use drugs or alcohol to self-medicate. Now, these individuals are experiencing severe trauma, but the combination of drugs and alcohol and homelessness drastically increases the odds that they become chronically homeless and will remain homeless for multiple years or big portions of their life. Helping individuals in this situation get off of the streets early, making sure they don't become chronically homeless, and helping them deal with the drug and alcohol problems are essential to trying to help them lead successful lives in the future. Number four, the Department of Justice estimates that 1.7 million individuals that are youth-aged experience homelessness every year. Now, some of this homelessness may be intermittent. They may have a home and then not, and then have a home. But still, 1.7 million people, million kids, every year are experiencing homelessness. When you think about that as not being a big issue, the sheer numbers point out that we have a lot of work to do as a society. Number five, many individuals that are homeless as a youth end up having ran away from their families, which is a shockingly high amount of individuals that actually do. According to one research group, 1 in 5 teens will at some point run away from their families. Now, that may seem tremendously high, and it does to me. The important thing is being able to have some sort of support group to be able to draw them back in, whether that's a family, friends, whatever it is, so they don't go on to become homeless and increase that 1.7 million number of homeless individuals, homeless teens, every year. Number six, 40% of homeless teens identify as LGBTQ. This is a very, very high number, but it also leads into our next fact, which is very sad. Number seven, a large portion of those that are homeless as teens come from what they describe as family rejection because of their LGTBQ proclivities or leanings. Number eight, over 50% of young people in shelters or on streets report their parents told them to leave and knew they were leaving and just didn't care. As a parent, that's a shocking thing to me. But what it really goes to show is most of these kids, because that's what they are, most of these kids just need somebody to care about them. Number nine, unfortunately, with youth homelessness, sexual assault and sex trafficking are big issues. One research study has found that 21 to 40% of individuals that are homeless as teens experience some sort of sexual assault. Compare that to the 1 to 3% of the normal population for the same group. And it really shows you how horrifying being a homeless youth is. Number 10, we talked about those running away earlier. But what you may not know is that 40% of those that ran away report that they had been abandoned by their parents for a period of time longer than 24 hours. It's easy to try and blame the youth for running away. But oftentimes we need to look back and think of what their support system was, who the parents were, and the situation they were in. And then, regardless of all of that, still help them. Knowing that no matter what personal responsibility they or their parents may bear, society's best interest is to try and get them housed and into a stable situation as quickly as possible. Number 11, and this is just a sad list, the rates for HIV positive around homelessness is tremendously high. But unfortunately for youth homelessness, it's about 3 to 9 times more than those that aren't homeless. You're way more likely to get HIV as a youth, and it really goes back to the other statistics with sexual assault and otherwise. Being a homeless youth is just a tremendously vulnerable and dangerous situation. And we should do everything we can to try and help those that are experiencing it get into more stable and importantly, housed situations. I hope you've enjoyed this list. It's hard to enjoy something this sad, but I hope it's educated you and helped you understand more of what those experiencing homelessness as a youth are experiencing. If you want to try and help, there's various means. One of the best ways is to reach out to a homeless service provider near you. These providers offer shelter, food, support, and other resources for both youth and adult homeless in all sorts of different areas. I highly recommend that you reach out and figure out what you can do to try and help solve this situation.